Hello, everyone, and welcome to Synergy Nation Network's Supercast, which is a podcast of podcasts. And we've got quite a group with us again today. So I'll let everybody go ahead and introduce themselves. We're starting with Running Up the Tab.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Louie from Running Up the Tab.
Hey, this is Josh with Running Up the Tab.
Okay, and Benito.
This is Benito Garcia from GoRPGs.
And
Mikey Colsheen from the Weekly Geekly.
And I'm Seth Swanson with Galactic Driftwood.
And I'm Bill Newman with Galactic Driftwood.
Linda Newman with Galactic Driftwood.
And we thought we'd get together this week, the different podcasts to get together, and we'd kind of talk about what everybody is watching during this time of social isolation. Favorite shows, maybe what networks they prefer, whether it's like Netflix or Amazon or Disney or whatever. And so we'll just go ahead and kick it off. And let's start with the Running Up the Tab guys. What are you guys watching?
Ooh, Lou, you might beat me to this. I haven't been watching a whole lot of stuff to be honest with you. But Lou, you said you've been going crazy on the Avengers movies, right, Lou?
Yeah, we set out to my girlfriend and roommate and I set out to watch all the Marvel movies in order. Not in the order they came out, but in the order that the chronological events happen. And I'm noticing like so much more stuff this time through.
Really?
We just got to the last one. We're about to watch that tonight sometime, I think. So it's kind of like the end of an era, you know what I mean? So, because we've been doing this for like 2 or 3 weeks now, just going hard. It's been 22 films, I think. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
How many of those-
Spider-Man Far From Home or Endgame?
Okay, so I guess we're not at the last one. We're at Endgame, and then we're going to watch Far From Home. So I was wrong. Yeah.
How many of those movies out of the 22 did you feel like didn't need to be there, though?
There was a few, but at the same time, like they all contributed, I think. What was yours that you thought didn't need to be there?
The worst performing one they ever made was Thor: Dark World.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of liked that one.
Here's the thing, I liked it, but it was so off-brand, I think, from what they were doing at the time, and they tried to put Thor in another type of box, which I don't think they got him right until Ragnarok, really. But
that movie was so good.
Oh, yeah. Probably my favorite Thor movie. But
yeah.
You go back and watch Endgame, and one thing I really enjoy that Disney does with Marvel is they look at all that and they go, what sucked in the last 10 years? And then they go, how are we going to raise the stock of Thor Dark World? And I think that's why they involved it in an Endgame like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you kind of go back and go, maybe I should watch this again. But for me, I think it was the only one that didn't feel as necessary. Like if you took the ether out of it, there was no point. You know?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I get you. That makes more sense.
I commend you, though. I don't think I have the patience to watch 22 movies like that.
Dude, that's something I actually need to go back and do because I need to go back and re-see Iron Man and Iron Man 2 and the first Thor. Like, some of those I haven't seen in, goodness, almost 10 years.
Mm.
Well, and if you watch them back to back like that, it can give you a new perspective instead of having to wait, because you tend to forget so much when a movie comes out and you got to wait a year or maybe 2 years for another one.
Yeah, it was actually pretty incredible doing it in this short of a time span. It was incredible how well they actually mesh. And like some of these, you know, when you start out, you know, you go first Avenger, Captain America is the first one, and then you go straight to Captain Marvel, which was last year.
Oh,
but it's an 8-year difference. So in the times that they came out, so it's pretty wild because I haven't seen first Avenger for, you know, like Seth said, almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And some of these on the list I hadn't even seen at all, and I realized how much I was missing out on because they're not like, I wouldn't say they're like it's not groundbreaking filmmaking by any means, but like it's great as a whole in my opinion. So
What's the order?
Oh shit, man. Look, I have it set as my background just so I can reference it. Yeah, just so I can reference it.
Did you just find a list online of the order?
Yeah, I just looked up like Marvel chronological order or whatever, and there's a whole bunch of different ones. There was a small discrepancy too, where Ant-Man and the Wasp comes in.
Yeah.
So on this list, it has it in between Infinity War and Endgame, and on another list, it has it, I believe, right after Doctor Strange or maybe after Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming. I can't remember, but. It's kind of I believe it's kind of up to you, because the only thing that really places it in between Infinity War and Endgame is like the very end scene after the credits. You see Ant-Man gets trapped in the what am I going to say? In the whatever dimension that was.
The quantum realm.
The quantum realm. Yeah. So he gets trapped in there because the guys that are controlling the thing that's supposed to pull him out, they get eliminated by the snap. So that's the only thing that really places it in between those two movies. But at the same time, the rest of the movie, that hadn't happened yet. So they're kind of going on at the same time almost.
Huh.
I don't know.
Louis, correct me if I'm wrong, but in, I believe, Endgame, when Ant-Man comes out of the quantum realm, and there's that mouse that, like, knocks the thing and he gets freed, you know? The security guard, isn't that the Asian dude from Hangover?
Let me get back to you on that tonight.
I think that was one of my favorite cameos, and it shocked me. I was like, why is he in this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'll get back to you on that later. We're going to watch it tonight. So
awesome.
That's so funny.
Leslie Chow, that character?
Yeah. I was like so surprised. I was like, all right, because we're just putting everybody in these.
Dude, that actor is actually a doctor, I'm pretty sure. He got a doctorate in medicine.
He got a doctorate before he became a comedian. So
yeah.
Well, we just got Disney Plus, so maybe I'll have to give this a shot.
There's
a few movies I just didn't have any desire to watch, but
same
might force me to watch them and learn something.
That's exactly how I was. I was more about Iron Man and Captain America and like the guys that I knew growing up, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the Guardians of the Galaxy, and everyone's like, oh, that's, you know, those two are so good, those are my favorite and whatnot. And I'm like, I don't know.
I kind of want to call BS on that, because like almost no one knew anything about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
This is true.
Out.
Yeah.
And
they were a brand that needed to be rebooted to be workable at all. You know.
Oh, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
I loved them. I hadn't seen them before this run through the movies. So.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Well, and it also took out a huge chunk of story too. Like I didn't even know who Thanos was until Infinity War came out the first time around. I'm like, oh my God, he's their dad and stuff like that. And everyone's like, what the hell? Like, how do you not know this?
I'm one of those huge Marvel nerds where I spent my entire high school and college years just binging comic books, and that teaser at the end of the first Avengers, I was just like bouncing in my seats, like, Infinity War, yay!
I will say they did a great job of making Thanos a relatable villain. A lot of the villains in the MCU, it's like, okay, you're going to be gone by the end of this movie, or you might not be, but you know, you're really kind of out of the story. Like Hela from Ragnarok, or Red Skull, how he still played a part, but he's not really part of anything anymore. But like the two in the Marvel universe, I think were the best villains were Killmonger and Thanos. Because you could relate to them too. Like Killmonger's story was so brutal, and I almost wanted him to win. I was like, yeah, they fucked you over, you know. And Thanos, like, he had a great point. I mean, to be honest, like, we're all getting overpopulated. I wouldn't mind it if half the world went away. Like, I wouldn't be beat up about it. Like,
make social distancing easier.
Oh God, right? You have so much room.
So in the comics, Thanos' thing was he was in love with death, like personification of death, and he basically killed half the universe just to hit on her and impress her. Be like,
we've all been there, okay? I've been there plenty of times. What can I do to impress this woman?
Nice. All right. Anything else other than Adventures you're watching?
Well, I guess I did watch that documentary about the '98 Chicago Bulls. that was going on. I don't know if you guys like sports or not, but that was
Not a
pretty
big-
cool, pretty well
big into
done. But
sports.
Nice.
yeah, it was a 10-episode series about it, just an hour each. So,
Huh.
Yeah,
Cool.
kind of put me back in an era that I was a baby for. So
I love that
Yeah.
nostalgic feeling of like I grew up with this. You know.
yeah. So other than that, not really. We're doing this thing now where like with the the Marvel movies, we're going through that, and then like after this, I think we're going to do Harry Potter, and then kind of
Oh, okay.
find more
Nice.
series after that to just go through. So.
Yeah.
I smell a crossover.
All right. Well, let's jump to Benito then. Benito, what are you watching?
I just finished. I think there's only 3 episodes out, maybe 4, of Penny Dreadful: City of Angels.
Ooh, how is that new series?
It's really good. Really good. It's really
What's
dark.
it on?
Showtime. But I've never seen the Penny Dreadful, the regular series.
Oh, the regular series is
Really?
really good.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to go back now and watch that.
Yeah.
This
I need to
spin-off.
actually finish that. I
So
watched
is it
The
got any of the
spin-offs are
same characters in it, or is it all new?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
He doesn't.
Don't you listen to people, Bill?
Yes, I know that he hadn't seen the original one, but I thought maybe he might know if the
Well, what-
characters were a continuation.
What time period does that first one take place? Because this one
It's
is late
18
40s, early 50s.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
1800s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, that is even,
Yeah.
Pre-industrialization era.
it's really good. I just watched new Rick and Morty. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stay up on that. Let's see what else. Upload on Amazon Prime is really good.
Oh, yeah, we watched that.
That's pretty funny.
That is hilarious.
I don't want to give too much away, but when you die or when you're about to die, if you catch it in time, you can upload your consciousness into a
Virtual reality
a
simulation.
digital virtual world,
Yeah.
and you can still interact with the living, your loved ones and your friends and stuff, and they just basically log on and you can communicate, and it's a comedy. It's really funny. So of course everything goes wrong for this poor guy that's in there, and that's
I don't
really
think
good.
I would ever do that.
Oh, there's Linda just shared the original cast of Penny Dreadful.
Hot.
None of them.
Yeah.
They don't look familiar at all.
I don't
Yeah.
think I would ever put my consciousness in a VR simulator.
It's what's funny is, so that's the technology that's badass, and they've got it fairly well perfected.
Yeah.
Now what they're doing is they're trying to re-upload that consciousness that's digital into your body. They save your body,
Okay, good.
and then or you can get a donor body or a clone of your body,
Yeah.
and then so now they're trying to bring people back from this virtual world into the real world. And
It doesn't work so
Sounds
well
like
yet.
a whole bunch of problems. Yeah.
but
Well,
what's funny, things are like sponsored by what was it, like Verizon, Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
like-
it's like all these corporate names that you wouldn't associate with each other have merged, and they're always like sponsored shit, and
Food. It's always food.
and it's like the virtual reality simulation is like the ultimate capitalist world, because the guy will be walking along through nature, and then all of a sudden a pop-up will pop up, try new maple syrup biscuits, punch here,
Yeah.
to pay $1.99 to add that to your menu for breakfast
Taco
or
Bell.
something.
Taco Bell gives them a free gordita. Your first one's free, but then
Funny.
when you're in the
Right.
virtual world, you have to pay for all your amenities, or somebody has to. Whoever
Yeah.
has your account on the outside world. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just really funny. It's worth
That's
checking
so
out.
weird. It's like a Tamagotchi person now. I have to take care of you and feed you, or you'll die in the corner.
So what's
But
this movie called?
Unfortunately for this guy, it's called
It's a
Upload.
series
It's a
called-
series.
It's a series called Upload.
It's really
Okay.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's really,
unfortunately
really
for
good.
this guy, his girlfriend, her father is super wealthy, and so she's paying for him to be in this virtual reality world. And there's other virtual reality worlds, but they're all just horrible.
Crap.
And this one is super upscale.
Top of the creme de la creme.
Yeah, but it's very expensive to be there, and so she's paying for everything. And so anytime he wants something, he has to go to her to ask her for money to get something. And so as you can imagine, it's starting to strain their relationship quite a bit.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I'm
and-
really gonna check that out. That sounds interesting. I heard
Yeah.
it was the same guy that did like The Office and Parks and
Yeah,
Rec,
yeah,
Mhm.
King of the Hill, just like random stuff.
yeah. The
DLD
other thing that's
Productions.
the other thing that's hilarious about that too is that you can go in on like it's a limited. What would you say, Benito? A limited.
A conjugal visit.
No, yeah, no. Well, there's those too.
Oh, that's where you were headed.
yeah. No, there's those two where you can do that. So somebody in the real world puts on this special suit.
Yeah.
That has like all these little finger things in it or something. It's just weird. It almost
looks like a hot dog suit.
Yeah, it does. It's really weird. And they put it on and then they get immersed in the simulation. And so the virtual person can touch them and then the suit will touch them like it's really them. So they're having sex with this technically dead person, but
Okay, that was the only reason I wouldn't want to upload my consciousness, because it's basically just like, oh, I have to be celibate for the rest of my existence. Like,
yeah, no, they've got that covered.
nice.
Yeah, they
Okay.
got you covered.
But then I was talking about the basement level.
Mm.
So there's
Oh,
people
the
that
2 gig,
can't
2
afford
gig.
the whole thing, and so they're on like a 2 gig plan, and and so
It's
everybody else is in
hilarious.
this super luxury hotel, right? Everything you could want, and then the 2 gig plans are in the basement, and it looks like this
Prison.
sterile.
It looks like prison.
Yeah, it looks like this sterile, institutionalized environment. And they're in a room. The rooms have like fluorescent lights that the bulbs are kind of
going
flickering
out.
like they're going out. And then they've got windows that look out, but the windows, because they're in the basement, are just virtual windows. And when they run out of their 2 gig limit, it's just a blue screen that says, add X amount of dollars to your plan to see the lake.
That's great. I love
And
that
then-
they could have made it great and it wouldn't have costed anything, but
I
they
know.
purposely made the light bulbs flicker just to remind you
Yeah,
how shitty
yeah.
your plan is.
Yep.
It's really
Yeah.
good.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
It's
We're
awesome.
still working our way through Westworld.
Nice.
Mm.
How far are you?
Halfway through season 2.
Okay, so
Oh,
the shit
nice.
hit the fan already. You know what's going on.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean we've got a few things that are, and of course podcasts. I know we're talking about watching things, but all kinds of podcasts and things like that. So
Yeah, help keep you sane.
staying busy.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, Mickey. Hey,
Oh,
Mickey.
Hello, guys. Every day is a new adventure for Mickey. I've been watching so much. One thing I've gravitated towards, and I can kind of relate to Louis and what he was saying with sports, was I've been getting a lot more into wrestling again. Like I used to love the WWF as a child, and like Undertaker was my idol. And so I got the streaming service they have, and they came out with a documentary about the Undertaker.
Ooh.
And like, dude, there's so much I never knew. Like, that guy should be dead. Like, he shouldn't even be alive right now because of all the damage he put on his body. But now he's like an android, like the $5 million man, and they just rebuilt him. And he had like a new hip put in, and then the same day he's like up and walking around. And I'm just like, dude, you're a beast. Like, I think after watching that, I think he's the toughest guy I've ever seen in my life. So if you're a wrestling fan, go get the WWE subscription thing. They do a free month, so it's kind of nice. And you can catch up on everything from like the very first WrestleMania to everything that's happening now.
Hmm.
The only thing I'll say is everything that's currently happening is super boring because there's no crowds. It's just that
Right.
pre-recorded area, and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, and I'm like, no one's there. I don't want to watch this. So I've been going back and watching like old like Undertaker versus Mankind, where he threw him off the Hell in the Cell, and like all those fights, because it's just so fun. And I hate when people say it's fake. It's scripted. They know who's gonna win, but those dudes are taking chairs to the face.
Yeah.
They get slammed on the ground. I saw one where I forget who it was, but somebody suplexed Big Show, like the other Andre the Giant guy.
What's a suplex?
It's where you pick a guy up like this, his feet are straight up, and then you just fall back.
Oh.
And he did that on with Big Show, who is the new kind of Andre the Giant. Dude's like 400 pounds. They land on the ring, and the whole thing implodes. Like the whole ring just broke. I was like, dude, you can't make this shit up. Like it's so interesting.
Well, I think what a lot of people don't realize is like just how good of an athlete you have to be to pull that off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
That-
have
you know
to
what, that-
like, yeah, you're doing all that, but you have to know your body and know how to take that fall so it doesn't
Yeah.
Doesn't kill you.
huge damage.
I'll give you that, except for the one exception to that is Mankind. He's
Oh
not
my
an
God.
athlete.
That dude just took pain for the sake of taking pain.
He wasn't even a
There
good
are some
wrestler.
guys like that too.
They're like, hey, get this dirty sock on your hand, make up something crazy, and we're just gonna beat you with barbed wire. And
Yeah,
he's
we're
like,
gonna
"Right."
we're gonna throw you. We're gonna throw you off the top of this cage that's like 40 feet in the air, and you're gonna land on a table. And
Right. He was probably the most like hardcore wrestler there was because of all that. Like he just didn't care.
he wasn't in shape.
No.
You could tell he ate like shit. He had no technical ability whatsoever, but he was I enjoyed watching him more than any other wrestler.
Mm.
And he just didn't have any athletic skill, I would say, but he's still my favorite for sure.
I love it because he has so many fucking characters. He's Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and then like one other one, and they all just come out randomly. It's like you never know who he's gonna be. It's so stupid.
It's called
It's so
multiple
good, like-
personality disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Right.
that wrestling is like the soap opera behind it. You know, I
Right.
mean, I know it's all fake, but make me
Funny.
think it's real. And don't get me wrong, when they do the whole like fake punching and kicking, I'm like, you can stop doing that. Just throw him. You know,
Yeah.
something I know is real, but you'll get those moments where maybe one guy didn't plant his foot the right way, or he missed the reaction he was supposed to have, and then something goes wrong, and you know it goes wrong. It's like, dude, that's an adrenaline rush for me. I'm like, what else is gonna happen? Like, so I think I've been nerding out a little too hard on wrestling lately.
Ah, it sounds fun.
Yeah.
But last night, I was up super late, just binging movies, and I caught Django Unchained again.
Oh man.
God, I love that movie.
That's good. Yeah.
Man,
Dude,
every time I watch it, it just gets better.
Leo's performance in that is mind blowing, man. I
Yeah.
hated that character so much, dude. But yeah, Quentin Tarantino at his finest, man.
Yeah,
Right.
totally. There was the one scene where they're like, there's like the Mandingo fighters going on, and they initially approach him at that bar, and he's like, well, what if I had 5,000 things to say to you about this or that, you know, to pay for his slave or whatever. And he turns around and he's sipping his drink and he goes, gentlemen, you had my curiosity.
Yeah.
Now you have my attention. And I was like, so classy. The acting in that movie is like spot on believable. Like,
Oh, it's crazy.
it's so believable that Leonardo DiCaprio had to apologize to Sam Jackson on multiple occasions for calling him the N-word. And Sam Jackson just turned around and went, shut the fuck up. It's a slavery movie. Like, let's just like not say it. Like, it's like, quit feeling bad, white boy. Like, I thought that was hilarious.
Christoph Waltz is such an underrated actor too.
Oh, yeah.
He is incredible, man. Like,
He's one of my favorite actors in the Tarantino universe. He just plays,
yeah.
he plays whatever role you give him so well.
Yep. In Inglourious Bastards, I think that's one of the greatest scariest villains of all time, for sure,
Yeah.
man. He murdered. I mean, that was a well-deserved Oscar for sure.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, like, but that's like a definition of actually winning an Oscar for a good performance. You know?
Yeah, make me hate you. You know, like, I want to hate you by the end of this movie. That scene where Brad Pitt carves that swastika in his forehead, though.
Yeah.
I still get like, I get that cringy feeling where you think it's real, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tarantino loves those revenge sequences, though. He loves that kind of like in Django, like the revenge sequences were just like you're just like the first time watching it, you're like, hell yeah, dude, like let's go.
yeah. Like that
You know?
one where he's just like whipping the shit out of the slaver. I was like, every time he did it, I was just like, fuck yeah, go. Just keep it.
I had the craziest chills the first time I saw that scene. I'm like, dude, this is so badass.
I
I'm
love
gonna
when
go
he
back and
turns
watch
around.
it again. I guess I don't remember much about it. I'll have to
He
check
turns
it out.
around, right, and he's whipping this slaver, and he already killed one of them.
Yeah.
He turns around, he looks at all these slaves, and I'll never forget this scene. He's wearing this like ridiculous blue outfit, and he just goes, "Y'all want to see something?" And then just like turns around and shoots him in the head. And I've always wondered this: how can people hear his character when he's so goddamn quiet? Like,
I
if you look
know.
at his scene, they're like 500 feet away, and he's like, "Y'all want to hear something?" I'm like,
Well,
oh, like,
that same thing, you know, at the end of like 300 when he's got 10,000 Spartans and he's like giving that speech, it's like the people in the back can't even fucking hear him at all.
yeah.
It's like the same thing. Like, how are they hearing that dude, you know?
Yeah. Or there was a part in Django where there would be certain things that Schultz would say, and obviously, as the character, Django doesn't know what positive means or certain words like that, you know? So he's like, what's that mean?
Yeah.
It caught me. There were a couple scenes where there were like bigger words that he used, and I'm like, there's no way you would know what that means.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh yeah, I understand. I'm like, Little differences like that. I start catching things, and I'm like, I don't want to ruin this for myself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's classic, man. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Tarantino.
I think music really helps me watch things. Like the soundtracks. You were talking about Guardians. That soundtrack, if it wasn't there, that movie would have been boring as shit.
Yeah.
You know what
It
I mean?
helps.
Same thing with Django. Like the music they incorporated in it, even though some of it wasn't of the time.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Like 100 Black Coffins, like that
Yeah.
Rick Ross, like that was perfect. And then,
What were you
go
saying?
ahead.
No.
He was talking about some of the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The one that got me was when he blows up the building at the end of the movie, and the song is so like nonchalant. It's like, "Who's the guy?
Yeah.
Who's the talk of the town?" It was such a violent thing to have that song there. It was great.
You're just like, Christopher Nolan, I don't think he'd be like, he's a brilliant director, probably the best in the industry today, in my opinion, but he wouldn't be where he's at now without Hans Zimmer, I think.
Oh,
Like,
no.
Oh yeah, that
It's like-
score for the Batman movies.
Yeah, incredible. It's like
Yeah, I
Spielberg
gotta-
and John Williams, the
Mhm.
same thing. Like their
Well,
music
if you-
selection makes it.
Like that, the score for the original, the 1989, the 1990s Batman.
Mm.
Uh,
You talking about the one with Seal on it?
No. Let me pull that up.
Baby!
Batman theme. Ba, da, da, da,
Oh, that's the 89 Batman.
yeah.
Yeah, the original. Yeah, I think if you can't put a good score in, something recognizable, especially with characters that we're going to keep seeing, like how Star Wars has those themes that keep reoccurring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just helps you build that universe.
Yeah.
And I like that Avengers did it. They kind of did something similar throughout all their movies. They had the same themes, but they change them here and there. Like
Mhm.
That Avengers
Narrative.
theme is just perfect.
Mhm.
Like, music is one of the things I love.
Yeah.
In just like hitting that, it'll make or break a movie for me.
Well, Seth, what are you watching now?
I am seeking out a whole bunch of stuff that is just positive and fun. So I've been
So
watching.
Trump press briefings.
We said positive and fun.
No, the new DuckTales, my friend. The new DuckTales.
Oh.
DuckTales.
Woo!
Whoa!
They
I didn't
did.
know there was a new one.
Yeah, there's a new DuckTales series. I think it's in its third season right now, but they're almost making like the DuckTales like animated universe because they're bringing in Chip and Dale. They've got stuff from Tailspin. They've got Darkwing Duck in there now.
Wait for that.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, and they got the original voice actor for Darkwing Duck too.
They
Oh,
did?
cool.
Wow.
So, but like the new voice cast is amazing. David Tennant is Scrooge, and he knocks it out of the park. And they've got good voice actors for everyone. And they've rebooted the series, and it is wonderful. It makes me laugh. It hits that nostalgia factor.
That's very
The
important.
theme, the DuckTales theme that everybody knows and loves, is there. They refreshed it a little bit, but it's still that theme. They even worked in the music from the Capcom video game,
Oh,
the
cool.
moon level music.
Huh. That's a throwback.
Yeah, and it's a connected story now, so there's actually plot to it as opposed to just week to week doing the random thing.
Yeah. Huh.
Nice.
What's it on? What's it available on?
It's on Disney Plus.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
And I mean, if you've got Disney Plus, they've got all the old Marvel cartoons too.
Nice.
Like all the X-Men, Spider-Man, all those good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the original for me.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, see, we're also watching Community again.
Nice.
And what's that about?
It's a bunch of kind of one of those out of the weird kids at a community college, basically.
Ah.
It's the same guy who made Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's a lot older. I think it's his first big work, but it's got like Chevy Chase in it.
Mm-hmm.
The
Joe
gentleman
McHale.
who played the new Lando is a main character in it.
Yeah.
A lot of people you'd probably recognize.
It's really good. A lot of people didn't. I don't want to say got their start, but there was a lot of people you see now that are in everything that started on.
I think
Community.
it did launch a lot of people.
Oh yeah, like Childish Gambino got huge because of that.
Yeah, he was. Donald Glover.
Yeah, it's a great show. I love it.
He doesn't have a real name anymore. It's just Childish Gambino to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm Donald Glover over here, and I'm Childish Gambino over here. I'm like, no, you're one person.
Yeah.
It's just fun and low stress. That's
Yeah.
what we need right now. Fun and low stress.
How much do you love the Dean, Seth?
Oh, the Dean is so good.
Dean, 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 Dean. I love there's this reoccurring theme that he's like a little bit gay, but he doesn't really ever say it. And there's like 3 or 4 times in the show where like he'll find women's lingerie or get on a weird website or see some video of a guy dressed up like a dog, and he looks at it himself and goes, "This better not awaken anything in me."
I think he's a lot gay and just
yeah.
like it comes off in all of his character, but especially the way that he's just always lusting after Jeff Winger.
Yeah. My favorite thing is his outfits. Every single time he brings them news, he's like dressed up in some ridiculous outfit because he's like that party planner type of guy, you know? It's so good.
Definitely look it up if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix too, so.
Yeah, the season enders for every season are just about the best episode of any TV you can watch because they pull out all the stops.
Yeah. Oh, and they even have D&D episodes for you D&D nerds.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
D&D episode, and it's there are 2 or 3 D&D episodes, and they're the best.
Dan Harmon has always been a really big D&D enthusiast, and that's why he did that Harmon Quest show too. And you can really tell in Community because there's a lot of those themes that kind of overlap.
Nice.
But yeah, I totally recommend it.
Speaking of D&D, we're playing with Running Up the Tab guys.
Oh, yeah?
That's going to be exciting. I don't mean to break. Let me grab something.
As he leaves us.
Boom.
Yeah, we still got to get that set up.
What are you starting?
They're starting with
yet.
this.
Oh,
Starter set.
The D&D starter set.
The
Nice.
intro for you guys to play, right?
Huh?
Have you guys ever played D&D before?
no, it's going to be,
Yeah.
dude, it's going to be so funny because we have absolutely zero idea what's going on.
Yo,
I'm
but
looking
that could
like
be an
an idiot,
advantage. You
So,
know?
like, I got that starter set because it's got the pre-rolled characters so that it's otherwise you're just taking up too much time to build the characters and figure out this and figure out that.
So,
I think when you play for that very first time, like these guys are going to, that you should just, your character. I'll send them their character sheet so they know what they are.
Yeah.
But you just get to say, I want to do this. And then explain how it's going to happen. And let's see if it works. Not so much that my sword is a +1 and it does 3 points of slashing damage with +2
Right.
my strength ability. All that confusing shit just takes the fun out of it when you're just
Right.
just gonna dip your toe in and see. I want to hear these guys say that a hobgoblin walks in. What do you do?
Right.
I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
You guys could like capture one and then like interrogate it separately from another one, and then try to get them to turn on each other and give you secrets or something.
That's what's funny. That's what's funny about the game is you literally can do or try to do anything on the planet because based on what you tell me you want to do on your character sheet, it tells me how well of an athlete you are, how well you are at intimidating someone, how smart you are, how strong you are, how all these things. But you can literally do anything that your mind comes up with. Anything.
Yeah. Unless you're Balthazar.
So if I say a hobgoblin walks into the bar and he walks up to you with a sword and says, "Hey, buddy, you want to fight?" And I say, "What do you do?" You can fucking do anything on the planet. You can get up and leave. You can throw a beer in his face. You can order him a steak. You can try to talk to him.
Order him a steak.
You can cut him in the larynx.
You could literally do anything. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun when we finally get
Especially with the Rut Boys, because you guys are already pretty rowdy. Like, if anyone has listened to a Running Up the Tab episode, if you haven't, go back and listen to one. You guys bring up some of the weirdest topics I think I've ever heard. And like, Josh, you're right. Every time I look through your mail to tell you what's coming in, I'm like working and I'm literally just like, oh dear Jesus. So I was like, what do I go, read this.
we get some crazy ass stories in that submission, submission box, and some crazy ass questions. So that doesn't make sense too. That's what makes it so good. Is it's so random, and like the name, like it requires you to put in a name, and dude, some of these fucking names are just comedy gold.
You're never gonna know who anyone really is either. It could be 50 different people or one guy. Like just making up a different name every time.
Yeah.
You never know. Like
someone's name recently was Sweet Sin Cobbler. I thought that was so funny.
That's great.
I think
I always have fun reading you guys' shit, so I think that's gonna translate really well to you playing. Like,
it'll be good.
I'm just waiting for somebody to stab somebody in the back.
We're gonna be roasting each other the entire time, dude. I can't wait.
We're gonna try to have a session 0. We tried to do one a week ago, I think it was, and it just everything fell through and everything just went to shit. So on our end, so I think this coming week, I talked to when I thought Mikey was going to be my partner and he couldn't do it because of obligations. I talked to my other partner, my D&D friend Michael O'Brien.
Nice.
He's super down.
Yeah, good.
So the reason that we're getting hung up a little bit is this box set has the adventure takes about, it could be anywhere from, I don't know. I think it takes you from level 1 to level, 3 maybe. So it could literally be 6, 7, 8 sessions.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out how to pick one of the sections of the whole story that would just be sort of a fun encounter, and we have to write an intro to it, pick this piece out of the story they gave us, crowbar it in the middle, and then have an ending. So that's kind of where, so that we can do it in one show.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Hell yeah.
Otherwise, it's about 8 mini adventures in that kit. So
that's a lot. Well, hell yeah! I'm
probably meant to. Sorry.
No, you're cool.
I was gonna say it's probably meant to give there's a bunch of different adventures that you can go on. So I'm guessing that the beginner box takes you through. This gives you kind of like a greatest hits of beginner adventures.
Yeah, kind of. And then they stick them all together and they try to make one story out of it. It's called The Lost Mine of Fendelver.
Do you still have your Rolled and Told?
Mm-hmm.
Those would be cool to get into eventually too.
Yeah, Rolled and Tolds are great. They last anywhere from one session to you can draw them out to 3 or 4.
Nice.
There's a great podcast called The Adventure Zone where they do live play D&D, and I think that's what they start off with. And then the DM for that just like goes off on his own homebrewed story from that kickoff point.
They start from this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That's
yeah,
a
this
good
thing's
idea,
pretty
though.
thick. It's about 70 pages, which is crazy.
I honestly think I'm more of a homebrew, especially DM, than anything else. I love it. Like Benito's can attest to this. Our last meetup, kind of impromptu around this whole thing, we had like 3-4 guys get together and play for a night, and you can speak to that. My stories are fucking weird. Like, they go off the wall. Like, I had like 3 different options for where they could go and how they could get there. And like, it's funny because I'll try to plan things out for the players and be like, oh, this amulet gives them some power to do this and that. And they went through the whole game and never used it. All right, fair enough.
I've had given my players tons of stuff that they've just forgotten about.
Oh, do you remember the weird guy I put in the game that kept giving you weird shit? You remember that?
Well, I don't know which one. I was pretty drunk. Which guy?
Noel character. Yeah, you were pretty drunk. We were all a little drunk. So there was this guy in the market, and he was a Noel, and he was just super laughy and creepy, and like kept making Taish mad. And so like he would give you one free item that would either help you on your journey or just be something. And like someone got the Sword of Corona. Someone got like it has like a disease power with it. Or
oh no.
And then there was like 3 other weapons, and it got to Paish, our buddy. And I'm like reaching into this bag and see what you get. And he pulls out a small wooden dog, and he's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "This small wooden dog can either tell you a truth or a lie."
A lie.
What the fuck? Why would I need this? I love when there's stupid shit. Or there was the ever famous bag of holding, but it's like a paradise for cats inside.
That's a good one.
Spit it out.
This is good.
Every turn that you do, you roll for it, but they'll extend another like 10 to 20 feet of the battleground. And if you're in the cat circle where they're all just playing with your ankles, you have disadvantage because you have to like get away from these kittens as you're trying to fight. And it just gets bigger and bigger
growing and growing and growing and growing. Yeah,
it's so stupid. But I saw it on like an online forum on Reddit or something, and I was like, all right, I'm taking this.
So there's a cursed version of the bag of holding where it destroys whatever you put inside.
What?
Oh.
And I read a story I was reading a story about somebody who got this in the game, and instead they turned it into a murder weapon.
Oh, no.
Sneaked up behind somebody and put it over someone's head, and then pop. And then they just killed them.
That's such a fun idea.
That's funny. Well, we'll get the running up the tab guys. We're gonna turn them into super nerds. So.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt and go off on a tangent.
No, tangents are fun.
Yeah.
Wait a second. So, are you telling me that when we do make it to getting this started, that I can get drunk during this?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna have to focus and make it. I don't know. I'll get a little tipsy. Why not?
Yeah.
It makes it
is
fun.
a drinking game. Come on.
It is a drinking game.
True.
It can be, yeah.
Every time you take a damage, you just drink.
Take a shot.
There we go. Yeah.
You get so drunk.
D&D, drink and damage.
There you go.
Nice.
Linda's got it.
Yeah, Linda's coming up with all the great names.
Right?
He is.
Need to come with you next time and get names.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Drinking damage.
Drink
There you
and
go.
damage.
That'd be a popular podcast.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, Linda, what are you watching?
We got to see, finally, it's been out a while, The Joker.
Nice.
Oh my
Yeah, that was
God,
good.
that is dark.
Joaquin, I love him, man. He's so good.
Yeah.
It's so much different than, like the Heath Ledger Joker and the Jack Nicholson Joker. It's more like, this is probably how this guy actually came about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got issues.
He's probably the most realistic.
Yeah.
No like crazy weapon abilities. It's just like this dude who is not
Right.
like
just not
society is made. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and you couldn't help but
good.
watch it and just wonder how many people there are out there that are exactly in that same circumstance today somewhere in the world that we don't even know.
It's funny that you say that because it rings back to the original Killing Joke book where Joker was trying to prove to Gordon that everyone is one bad day away from becoming him. That anyone could be the Joker. So that was kind of that premise. And Linda, that kind of ties in with that, I would think. Like, everyone in our society is one of those situations away from going down the same rabbit hole.
Yeah, I could see it. It's creepy.
What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at over there?
What are you guys snickering at?
I started watching.
I'm sorry. I'm dying, bro. I'm trying to. I've been trying to get Josh to laugh on camera by sending him gifs of
weird shit.
He just sent me Buffalo Bill, and that got me laughing a little bit.
I sent him Buffalo Bill like 3 or 4 times.
Awesome. It worked.
It did.
So, Linda, what would you rate the Joker? How many clown shoes would you give it out of 10?
How many clown shoes? I'd give it like 9 clown shoes. It was awesome.
Was there anything
well
about
acted.
That fell short for you?
No, it was well acted, and like I say, I liked it because it was different than any other Joker movie.
Yeah.
Any other superhero movie. It was dark. It was dark.
Well, and how about that backstory where he could possibly be Bruce Wayne's brother?
Yeah.
I know. I was like,
uh-oh. I think keeping it on that open note to where we're never going to know if it was real or if it was fabricated is scary in itself. And then you tie in the fact that now Batman's origin is directly correlated to the Joker.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yikes.
I'm going to disagree with everybody.
No! Hey, somebody mute him.
We can
cut the mute button.
Like, I've been watching it in like increments because I just can't get into it.
Really?
Like, it's just, I don't think it's a good Joker story.
Oh my God.
Here's
Like,
part of this. don't watch it in increments because you have to watch it all at once because it's that decline happening. If you're breaking it up, you could be breaking that up weirdly.
To me, this isn't the story of the Joker. This is just the story of a guy who goes crazy.
Which is the Joker.
Now, here's the thing you got to look at. If you look at the Joker in his character in every comic book, this is just the story of maybe how he got that way.
Right.
Not that this is the Joker in every movie and every comic book, but maybe this is just the stereotypical, not the right word, but the decline that got him there for all the Joker characters.
Yeah.
Essentially his origin story, right?
Yeah,
and then he branches off from that.
He was only Joker for the last 10 minutes.
Joker, though, and what Heath Ledger got so good in his Joker is that you never, like in the comics, except for a couple of them, you never know where the Joker comes from. And in The Dark Knight Rises, he keeps giving the contradictory stories of how he became the Joker.
Right.
And for me, that informs a lot on his character.
Okay.
And I think, like, if I were to make a Joker movie, I would do the time when the Joker kills Batman or thinks he kills Batman and how that just wrecks him and takes the fun out of it. And he stops being the Joker and gets like that. To me is the best. If you were to do a Joker-centric story, that is the best one.
I do agree with Seth that that Heath Ledger's Joker, it was basically just like this almost like demon that just like appears out of nowhere. You have no idea what, where he came from. You have no idea what's truth and what's lie, and that's what's that's what makes the scariest villains.
Well, but we do know where he came from. It was society's fault. Well, not fault, but they were the big pressure for him. But the fact that every time someone was nice to him, it was in his head. I started wondering, was his mom ever really nice to him, or was he imagining that as well? Right. And we just never found that out.
But if we're talking about the Heath Ledger Batman, though, what he's saying is he just appeared and was just this bad.
That made him scary for sure.
Here's the thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, I was just, I love both stories, like how they kind of, you do get to see, because this happens all the time in society is situations like that, unfortunately. But, it's cool to see that side of how somebody could be formed like that. But at the same time, what makes a villain utterly terrifying is not knowing anything about him. And
I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that too. So, but we'll never see Joaquin Phoenix again as a Joker in the movie. Yeah. Which is weird to think about.
Now they're talking about Johnny Depp playing in the Pattinson as the Joker.
Damn.
Johnny Depp's a really good character actor.
That's interesting.
I think my personal favorite would be Willem Dafoe.
Oh, he was good.
Willem does a good crazy.
Yeah. We just watched him in a weird show the other night.
The Lighthouse.
Lighthouse?
Yes. Oh my God, that was so creepy.
And see, now we see that Pattinson and Defoe can work together, so
that was
like, if you remember his Green Goblin, he can do crazy. He can do that smile.
From Boondock Saints, that was just as crazy.
Oh yeah,
and a little weird, but
this brings up a topic that I want everybody that I need to hear from everybody on. What do you guys think about, or how do you feel about when an actor plays two different superheroes? And
like Thanos and Cable?
Yeah, or what's the big one? The Human Torch and Captain America.
Captain America?
Yeah. And then I don't know. And then Green Lantern and Deadpool, and I don't know. It just bothers me. Am I the only one, or am I putting too much into it?
Or no, not Matt Damon. The guy who most recently did Batman also did Daredevil.
Ben Affleck.
MCU days.
That was embarrassing.
Like, there's enough actors out there. Why do we keep doing that? It just drives me crazy.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you want a recognizable face to sell your movie.
Yeah.
To sell your piece of garbage that is the first Daredevil movie. Yeah, I know.
Hey, back when the first Daredevil came out, it was still good for the time.
I liked it.
I was spoiled.
Yeah, I'll give you that. For the time, it was okay, but as a Daredevil fan and someone that was also like, Ben Affleck's okay, I lost a lot for him after that movie and Jersey Girl.
Oh, Jersey
Yeah.
girl.
When he came back as Batman, I was a little pissed about it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh god, they're gonna shove something down my throat. But he kind of redeemed himself a little for me as Batman.
Yeah, I liked him as Batman.
was all
I thought
right.
it was good.
I think it bothers me just as much as you, Benito. But if they get that second chance and they pull it off, I completely forget about the first one.
No, you're
Like,
right. Okay.
Chris
Yeah,
Evans
you're
is never going to be the Human Torch to me because they rebooted it again and did a worse job. And now Captain America.
Like Fantastic Four, like what I just said about Daredevil, grading it on the curve of being like good for the Fantastic Four was always bad. Like,
Yeah.
they did a bad job with that every single time.
Galactus should never be a giant cloud around the Earth. Just saying. Like, that was so dumb. That was essentially the bad guy from Green Lantern, just with a different face on.
Like their Doctor Doom was terrible, and he's supposed to be one of the biggest bads Marvel has to offer.
And who'd they get? The guy from Nip Tuck.
Yeah.
Not the
Like
same.
he's what I'm hoping
Not
is
the
the
same
next
at all, Linda.
I'm hoping that Doctor Doom is the next big bad in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He deserves to be. He's probably one of the biggest bad guys in the MCU.
And I want him to go full ham on Doctor Doom, like talking in the third person, just like the whole spiel.
What if they went full ham and they got John Hamm to play Doctor Doom?
Oh,
How would you feel about that?
I'd have to know off the top of my head who John Hamm is. So
what?
let's
What?
Oh,
Madman,
Oh.
Baby Driver.
like, I
Baby
know
Driver,
exactly-
great movie.
I know
Yeah.
like the names of 10 celebrities.
Oh,
Okay, fair enough.
Field
killing me.
expert.
Don
Does that include
Draper?
everybody here?
Yeah.
Is this celebrity?
Hey.
Wait, who's that guy over there?
Oh, okay.
He's
Oh,
famous.
no, he might actually be a really good Doctor Doom.
You think? I was just going off the fact that you said the word ham.
Uh,
That's how I do my casting.
I mean, I just like
I like your
Googled
name.
him, and like the first image that comes up, I'm like, yeah, that looks like a good pre-masked Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I can see
Like
it.
pre-going crazy.
Don't have too much faith in me, because up next I was thinking Jack Black
Oh, whoa.
could be the new Spider-Man.
Spider-Man? I think he might do a good job as Jay Jonah if they didn't already
Oh,
bring in the guy from the
They were thinking about putting Terry Crews in as Jay Jonah. Did you know that?
Terry Crews.
Yes.
Interesting.
Make a good villain for the Spider-Man universe.
Right? They were like, maybe we could get a new J. Jonah Jameson when the Homecoming came out, but they stuck with the original for obvious reasons. But
No, I don't think like stuck with the because like he was the original like Jay Jonah from the first trilogy.
Mhm.
Is the perfect casting choice.
oh yeah,
Like the sting at the end of the Far From Home where they came out with him as Jay Jonah, that was just perfect for me.
yeah. At the very end of the movie, he's like, "What the?" Like, I love that they end all the Spider-Man movies without saying the word "fuck." Like they're "what the?" Like on every movie. Like when Aunt May found him, they did that too. I was like, "This is becoming a thing." Like,
And then you let him finish out the fuck at the end of one of the movies, and you know
Yeah.
it's really serious.
yeah, that's the drop. That's how you know. It's like the Sinister Six came out finally, and
so, has anybody watched Tales from the Loop?
no,
Oh,
what's
was
that?
weird.
Is it similar to Tales from the Hood?
No.
I don't think so.
So
the Loop?
it's
That was the other one we watched. That was good.
yeah. There's just one season out.
What is it?
So it's an anthology series, and it was written based solely off of the artwork of this Swedish artist. Simon Stålenhag is the artist's name. Actually, hold on, let me share this. So while I talk about it, you can look at the artwork, and then just as you see the artwork, just think about what kind of stories you might see. Okay, share screen. There we go. All right, can you see that?
Yeah.
I'm going to hit play. It'll scroll through some of the different artwork. So the Loop is basically about this small town, and under the town is something called the Loop. And it's like a science research facility that's exploring the fundamental mysteries of the universe.
Huh.
And
In the 80s, right?
Yeah, it looks. The weird thing is that the town looks like it's frozen in time in the 80s. But yet they go to bigger cities, and these bigger cities are super futuristic.
Really?
And when they're in the town, I mean, it just looks like these pictures that you're seeing come up here, but there'll be these weird anachronistic devices just littering the landscape that have all somehow come from this loop, like that thing there. And
nobody knows what it does. It's just
weird mind twisting stuff happens. Like one time they find these two kids are out playing and they find this sphere, and the one kid crawls into this sphere, and all of a sudden there's this weird escalating humming sound, and then all of a sudden the humming sound stops, and when the camera zooms back, both the kids are kind of flat on their backs, and when they wake up, they've exchanged bodies.
What?
And so the consciousness are in each other's bodies, and so they're like, holy shit. So then they're scared shitless, so they want to reverse it. So they go back into the machine, and it works. They reverse it. So then they're like, well, this could be kind of fun. Let's switch for real and just spend a day in each other's bodies. And so they do that. But the one kid decides that he likes the other kid's life better than his own, and he doesn't want to switch back. And so it's stories like this, and it just takes a really weird turn.
All the time. And they're individual stories, right?
They're individual stories, but it's all about people in this town. And every story has characters in it from previous stories.
Okay, that's cool.
So they all have a connection to one another, and it just sort of builds on it for this whole season. And I mean, it's just really freaky. It's just, you can't believe what some of these different machines do, and how the story evolves. And you just look at these pictures and just think about a story. What story would you write about that particular object? But it's really, really, really well written and really engaging.
What are these cyborg kind of android creatures we were seeing? Are they also featured in it?
Not as much.
Not as much.
Okay.
So a lot of this, so you're seeing a lot of his different artwork. Not all of these are featured in the stories, because I think there's like 10 series.
Mm-hmm.
And so
10 shows in the season 1.
Yeah, okay. And so some of these pictures, like that one there with the dinosaur in it, you won't see a dinosaur in this.
Okay.
Although some of these pictures that'll fly by, you'll see some gadget, and that gadget may be in a particular episode, just sitting in a field somewhere, but the episode isn't about that particular object. They'll just walk by it like it's just an everyday, ordinary thing. And, when you start watching this, you just think, what in the hell? Because these people look like they're like, here's some of these weird sphere things, and yeah, it's just kind of weird.
I love the aesthetic behind this. It's really cool.
It's really a great, clever idea. Yeah.
Borderlands, yes.
Yeah, to build a whole
what this
show.
cyberpunk thing kind of reminds me of, but they mix in like almost Native American culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of the in the actual TV show itself. None of the decorations are on these things. They're just metal hulks.
Yeah, they look like just metal empty hulks a lot of times, or undecorated. So some of these are much more elaborate renderings than what you maybe see in the show. But
what's it called one more time?
Tales from the Loop, and it's on Amazon.
Okay, I'll have to check it out. That looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna write this down too.
And then our other favorite.
Oh yeah, our other most recent favorite. Do you guys like dark comedies?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen a show called Patriot?
No.
It's a series. So there's 2 seasons of Patriot, and so it's about this guy, John Tavner. Yeah, and he is an intelligence agent.
Okay.
And he works for his dad, who's like the head of this, kind of covert intelligence group. And so they're basically trying to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons. Oof. And so to do that, this guy has to get a job working for this piping company.
Piping company.
They make pipes.
Macmillan.
And it is so hilarious because they frequently go into bits where they have to give these presentations. And they will be talking about this piping. Oh my God.
In terms that no one could understand.
It's all these things like, okay, now if we attach the flam to the up end of the girdle spring and then we, and it's all this kind of stuff. And I mean, they will go on for like 5 minutes. And it's just a series of nonsensical terms that all sounds like it could be real parts.
So Rick and Morty.
It's kind of like that, but then
it's made with the schleem.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then it is so dark because this shit happens. I mean,
poor guy, I tell you.
Oh God. You really just have to watch the first couple of episodes. It's also on Amazon.
What's it called?
It's just called Patriot.
Patriot.
Yeah. And but
right.
oh my God.
Have you seen
hilarious.
Have you seen this video on YouTube? It's like the ad for the retro encabulator.
Yes,
That's
that is exactly it. That is
It's so good.
When they first went into the first presentation on this Macmillan piping stuff, I'm like, oh my God, that's the retro encabulator. And
That
Linda
is
didn't
awesome.
Linda
I have
didn't
to
remember
watch
it,
it.
but I pulled up the video on YouTube and I said, look at this. And
yeah.
And so they do that like several times because they have to do different presentations as part of this thing. And they always fall back on that. And you're like, oh my God.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
So good.
You would love this then. Just I mean,
I'm gonna go watch that. I like constantly think about the line where he's like the original machine had a base plate of prefabulated
amulite. Yeah, I know it. That is exactly the show.
You'll love
the
this
company that this agent has to work for. And this guy, he is just so dark. But the weird thing is he's such a nice guy, but his dad has him do such horrible things, and it's just
and he just does them.
And he just does them because he'll do anything for his dad. But it's just at everything that they do just has this downstream disaster associated with it, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And it's classic. It's unfortunate there's only 2 episodes. They do wind it up nicely at the end of the second season. Sorry, the end of the second season they wind it up nicely. But the guy who's the lead actor in it, the star, he now has gotten hired by by Apple for their new sci-fi series, which will be coming out soon, and that's about a world in which the space race never ended. So we're still competing with Russia for dominance in space. So he's gone on to that, and Amazon decided not to renew it for a 3rd season. So
Michael Dorman is his name.
Yeah.
So Derek Castor just joined us.
Hey.
Oh, hey Derek, welcome.
How's everyone?
You guys
going?
happen to see his little profile picture when he joined?
No,
I missed it.
That about broke me.
There you go.
Nice.
I love it.
Classic.
That's so great.
Yeah, it's always
Very good,
something to
Derek.
me.
Thanks for the file,
man.
bud. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
bet.
get. So Derek just got us our new updated logo for Synergy Nation Network.
Nice.
So I'm gonna take this week and do some redesigning and get the new logo out there, and get everything.
Yeah, it looks really great. I love the new logo.
Yeah, it's sharp.
Yeah. So Derek, I don't think we've met before. So are you part of the Running Up the Tab group then, or?
Yep, I am. Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, nice to meet you.
I was in the first big group call,
Oh.
Yeah, we just didn't see you.
the first recording.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't have a
Okay.
webcam,
That explains it.
so I got a webcam from my dad's old job before he got let go. So we got a little
Nice.
souvenir from them.
Nice.
Nice.
Thanks.
Basically
Whatever
stole it,
works.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're,
Otherwise, I didn't think I was going to be able to get a camera because Amazon's all sold out. And
yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, they're hard to find.
Benito, that's one of the things that's stopping me from trying to do what we're doing with our game. Is I can't get another camera. Like,
You can't get another one. What's wrong with the one you got?
He wants one for a
He
dice
wants
cam.
a second one.
yeah,
Oh,
or for a
your
map
map.
cam.
A map cam.
I gotcha.
Oh, a map cam. Right.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I asked Derek the question.
So Derek, we've been going around the room and everybody's been talking about what shows they're watching during this period where we're in quarantine. What's kind of keeping them going or keeping you entertained? Is there anything fun that you're watching that you'd like to share with the rest of us that maybe we should be watching?
Not really anything specific. I just pop on Netflix at night and
we lost
find
the
a
audio.
movie. Oh,
No, I hear him.
I can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear him.
I've just been
something
finding
on my
random
end.
movies on Netflix to watch.
Jeez, Louie.
So you just go out and see what's the latest on Netflix and
Yeah, like I had never seen the first Ace Ventura all the way through.
Oh,
I watched that the other day.
It's amazing how that would never hold up nowadays, right?
Yeah, no. So yeah, pretty much anything that I find, I just click and see, watch it if it's good. Trying to
How
watch
about
all the old
documentaries?
stuff.
Do you watch any documentaries?
I haven't really found a good documentary lately.
Netflix is pretty good about documentaries. They've got some really good series on there that 8-10 parters that are usually.
They've got that new one out, History 101, which I was watching a little bit of the other day, which is pretty good.
You ever seen
Josh and Louie send me like old movies because I'm not a big like movie guy. Like I am a movie guy, but not like the artsy kind of good movies. So they have a long list.
Derek's like, I want to watch
me,
Soul Plane.
A lot of 80s and 90s movies.
I watch a lot of dumb movies.
Yeah.
It's good though. You gotta have a mix.
Yeah.
I think Seth would recommend that you watch Barbarella.
Yes.
Why would I recommend that instead of you?
Watch anything with John Cusack from the 80s.
Yep.
So there's a lot of movies I haven't seen, so
we'll get you a list.
Oh yeah.
Has anyone here seen Letterkenny?
Yes.
No.
I love it. It's so funny. It's like Trailer Park Boys in Canada, but not in a trailer. They're in this like really, really hick town. So good.
Yeah. So your talk about how the pipe talk in your show Patriot reminded me of the hockey players.
Yeah.
Letterkenny.
True.
And they'll just be talking for like 5 minutes in pure hockey player, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're saying. But Jenna listened to it when we were watching, and she's like, is it weird that I understood that?
Letterkenny for sure. Everybody should be watching that.
Oh, Letterkenny is so funny.
And what's that on?
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu right now.
Oh,
and then they made a follow-up to it where it's an animated, but it's Wayne as a child called Little Kenny.
Little Kenny.
And it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, but it's so funny.
Yeah, don't watch Little Kenny until you've already watched several Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen?
There's 8 seasons of Letterkenny, and it's just good all the way through.
It's so good.
All the way through.
D-Gens from up north.
I was about to say the D-Gens from up country.
It's so good.
What do they call cigarettes?
Darts.
Yeah.
Darts.
And then they have like the weird like goth kids that are like really bad meth heads.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's so funny.
Stuart.
Man, that's as funny as a kid falling off a bicycle.
I don't give a fuck about your kid. I'll watch
kids falling off bicycles all day.
But the only thing funnier than a fart is a kid falling off a bicycle. So good.
Do you guys see that monkey on a little motorcycle drive up on this baby and like grab her and drag her away?
No.
No.
Drugs are you on?
No, it's
Monkeys
on
are
Twitter.
stealing children now?
that?
This little monkey was on like one of those little tiny electric pocket bikes, and he like drove up, crashed.
All
He
right.
was upset that he crashed, and he grabbed this little girl.
I'll look for it. You
like,
guys keep
dragged her
talking.
down the street.
All right.
He let go of her. But
I'll
We need to
find
be
it.
looking this up, guys.
Yeah, Benito's checking it out. He's going to share it.
I'll find it.
So have you guys heard about the HBO Max network that's starting?
No.
Yeah, so HBO is teaming up. They're is it Warner Cable? I think they're owned by Warner Cable, right? HBO. So anyway, they're forming a new network. HBO Max kicks off Wednesday, and so if you have HBO Go or HBO Now, it's the same price. You just get switched over automatically on Wednesday to HBO Max. But they're going to have a huge whole new catalog of shows.
All the DC stuff.
Yeah. And So it's like the most expensive network, one of the most expensive networks out there. It's like $14.99 a month.
But if you're not signed up and you sign up now, you can get it for like $12 a month for a year.
Right.
Might need to do that.
Yeah. So I'm signed up now, but
I saw they were releasing the Snyder cut of the Justice League movie on there.
Yes.
Next year.
Oh, is that what that's going to be? Cool.
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, I found the monkey motorcycle baby.
Dude,
all right, let's see.
I'm watching it now.
I was gonna say, I think he found it. I saw him laughing, so I think
Here we
he
go.
found it.
Hopefully this will work. Hopefully I've got enough. My computer is good enough to make this happen.
Oh yeah.
All right, you ready? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Can you also see my background, or is it just the video?
No, we see
video.
just the videos.
All right, here we go.
Full screen it.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh no!
oh Jesus!
Dude,
Why are
What
the
is that
parents
monkey
doing
on?
anything?
Kid gets up, runs the other way.
dude, that's strength right there. You see how fast he got her down the street?
How come nobody's like no one like monkeys on a
Gets
motorcycle?
me every time.
I think nobody believes
falls
it's
into
happening.
Harambe's cage and he gets shot, but
Damn.
Dude, he just ditches the bike like he's in Grand Theft Auto or something.
right.
Holy
I'm surprised
cow.
he drug her like 30 feet, bro.
That
Yeah.
thing's strong. Dude, he was not. He knew exactly what he wasn't playing around, dude.
Now I wonder if he crashed or if
God.
he saw her and
I think
jumped
he
off.
saw
the
her.
bike.
I think he saw her. Yeah.
Yeah, because you see him kind of look and then jump off.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, goodness.
She's like,
gracious.
holy shit.
Traumatized.
That's
No
Thank you,
weird.
Derek, for that submission.
I mean, who's ready?
First time I saw it, I was crying, laughing. I was like, what?
You're a 3-year-old. Nothing in your life has prepared you for a monkey to drive up on a motorcycle,
Motorcycle.
and drag you away.
Or we don't know. Maybe this is a normal thing in Indonesia.
Or this is how Planet of the Apes starts.
Damn dirty ape. In this future, we won't spank the monkey will spank us. My favorite line of Jay and Silent Bob.
I just feel like that monkey was scoping out the place for a while.
Right?
That wasn't
Seemed
the
to know
first
what
time
he
drove
wanted.
by.
I want to know why he grabbed her. Was he pissed at her or like?
Where'd he get the motorcycle?
Yeah, more importantly.
Let's start at the beginning.
I think that monkey planned the whole fucking thing out. It was Grand Theft Baby.
Right. He knew.
Yeah.
What if that monkey didn't belong to anybody and he just rode his motorcycle all over town?
Yeah. Right.
He's just a badass monkey. on a
Creating
motorcycle.
havoc.
Step 1, steal motorcycle.
Oh,
Step
funny.
2, steal toddler. Step 3, profit.
Well, all right. Well, listen, we've been going for over an hour.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I'm having fun. Thank you guys.
yeah, it was nice seeing all you guys again, and we'll do this again the end of June. We'll schedule another Supercast where we can get everybody together to kind of chat about what's going on, share news, and the exciting thing. Maybe, hopefully, this reopening thing will be working, and we won't be seeing more issues from everything opening up. Hopefully, things will be better. Maybe the sun and the warmth and the humidity will knock the virus down for a while, and we can have a nice summer. Keep
Yeah,
our
we can
fingers
actually
crossed.
hang out in person.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be
That'd be
nice.
super sweet.
So,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
We got to get Derek on this next time a little sooner too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the things Derek's got to say.
Right.
I got distracted on the match thing that's happening right now. With
Oh, it was
Tiger
the monkey
Woods and-
video. You don't have to tell us.
Oh yeah,
I was distracted on the monkey video.
the whole golf Tiger Woods Phil Mickelson thing that's happening.
Oh, okay.
All right, folks. Well,
Watching that,
we'll catch up with you next time. Take care from Synergy Nation Network. I'm Bill.
I'm Seth.
I'm Mikey.
I'm Louie from running up the tab.
Josh from running up the tab.
Eric from running up the tab.
I'm Benito Garcia from GoRPGs.
Close enough. Linda from Galactic Driftwood.
All right. We'll see you all next time. Thanks
Thanks,
for watching, guys.
All right, guys.
Bye.